Crochet time, motherfuckers! I'm sorry, Kitty. I literally had to do the admin thing to let that be to let that be posted. Oh God. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're doing great tonight. Oh shit, I still don't have the bubbly command. God help me. Okay. It's it's basically 9 o'clock, alright? Let's not half ass this yet. Yet being the operative word. Um yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary folks of all ages, hello and welcome to the stream. Um Here we go. Yes. It is not it's 8:59 in Vancouver, BC, here in the glorious Pacific Northwest. Wherever you are, I hope you're ready to do some crochet, because that's basically what I'm doing right now. I am working on a bag, because when am I not working on bags? I think it's kind of a given that on any given moment, I am either working on a bag or planning to be working on a bag. It is my default state of being. Anyway, well, this is what this basically is right now is the base of a bag. All right, it's the base. Okay, it is misshapen because it'll definitely need to be blocked out at this point, and I'm doing it using a waistcoat stitch, which is kind of like double crochet except thicker and sturdier. When I block it out, it'll hopefully kind of like it'll stretch a bit and it'll kind of properly flatten out, basically. Hi Matthew, I still don't have the bubbly command and I don't know how to add one, and I need River to be here or else I have really no idea what I'm doing. Okay, here you go. It's strawberry tonight. There may be more because I've gone halfway through this can already because it's already bullshit warm in the city. Like, I don't know how it is when the rest of the world, okay, but seriously. No, strawberry, man. Strawberry, don't worry about that. Looks orangey in this light. It's definitely strawberry. Blackberry, oh yeah. We're doing well, lads, we're doing well. But yeah, no, just seriously, it's bullshit warm. I don't know what's going on. Like, this is like heat wave city all over again. Like from last year. Son of a bitch, can I tell you what? Like, it was so hot. Like, essentially, once it got up over about like 20 degrees at night, I could no longer sleep. Oh, God. Oh, I finally tried the cherry and I actually liked it. It reminded me of Dr. Pepper. Does it? Oh my God. I thought Dr. Pepper was like root beer or something. I don't, I, see, I don't know. I personally really love the cherry and I'm going to continue loving it. And as long as everyone else kind of doesn't like it where I am, I get to have all of it. I am on board with that. I totally am. I've drank strawberry before thinking it was orange in the fridge. It's good, it is really very good. I like it. I like it a lot. The orange I'm not so much of a fan of because it's just like, it's kind of boring. Like, give me cherry or give me the grapefruit and I'm like happy out. But like, nobody likes the cherry. Like, I love it. Very few people else seems like it. Okay, well, yeah, whatever. Oh, children, I have had a week with a capital W. I tell you motherfucking what. All right. I'm just like, I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of surprised that I'm just like, I'm here and, you know, functional, because it has been that kind of a week. It's kind of a week where like you literally get to Sunday and you're just like, well, fuck everything. I'm going to hibernate for the next like day or so until I become, until the brain is woken up. Yeah. So what we're making tonight basically is I'm kind of going to do the base for this, and then I'm going to do corner to corner crochet in the round. Like, my intention for this is to kind of make a bag, and this is just the base of the bag, and I kind of have to decide when it's going to be big enough. I'm thinking I'm going to continue this around. I'll get to here and then I'll finish it off, and then let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we're gonna basically do one more round, and then we're gonna start working up. Like, the working it up is going to be a little. We're gonna be kind of. How would I describe this? We're going to be winging it, okay? This is another kind of experimental kind of a thing. We're going to just like see where this takes us, okay? Like, a lot of my bags are like this. They're experimental, they're just like trying to work out and see whether this thing is really going to work for me, And I don't know how I'm even going to be able to work up a pattern for it, because actually telling someone is like, oh, how do you make a pattern? How do you make the base like this? I'd be just staring at them going like, you crochet a line and then you crochet around the line and it turns into this. And I have no idea how to turn that into English or symbols, because I just kind of do it. It's like seeing the obvious next step or something like that. But I would have to actually sit down and write it out at some point, because I got high hopes of actually making this work. I've done one test already of a bag that is basically corner to corner crochet in the round. Put that up on Instagram, and I'm just personally very happy with the outcome. It's like it's got legs, it's got possibilities. Now the one that I did was not great, I have to say. It's just like the colorway's not great. The I think the handle's a bit too long. It's just I'm not jiving with it, if you know what I mean. Like it is not pleasing. It is kind of like I didn't do as well as I could. The theory is sound, the execution failed. Yeah. So we got to go back to the drawing board and come up with something else. I'm hoping this is going to be a kind of an adjustment that will work. I'll tell you what. So we shall see. I feel you on a heck of a week. I'm on day 7 of either 12 or 13 straight days of work with no days off. Oh my God. Are you just... Tell them you've got diarrhea and you can't go to work. Just give them an excuse and just saying, sorry, gotta go puke into the toilet for the umpteenth time or something. I have no idea. Like, that sounds unreal. Hey, Crowbar Scout. How's it going? Hope you're doing okay. I'm pretty sure that I saw you on... I think I saw you on Twitter. I'm trying to think that... Do you know what I was at? No, am I getting confused? I don't know. Anyway, glad you're here. My coworker and I debated that. We were like, what if you got lunch and food poisoning? Look, it's a solution. Probably not a great one, but it'd be a solution because, you know, yeah. Like, yeah, just, no, don't give yourself food poisoning. Just fake it, you know? Just fake it, like, or whatever, you know? It's like, no. Don't do that to yourself. That's not good. Like, I kind of think that like telling people that, oh yeah, I've got like diarrhea, stomach flu, or some kind of crap. They're not going to kind of investigate any further as long as you flush the toilet while you're on the phone with them or something. I don't know. It's like I'm spitballing here. I'm throwing out ideas, you know, because 12 to 13 days of nonstop work is not healthy at all. KK, I don't know what exactly you do for a living, but that sounds like literal hell. That sounds like there's no way you're going to be in any way productive, because I'm like, oh my God. Your company must, or whoever you're working for, it just, they don't have extra people. Oh, well, I mean, so yeah, I'm one of the filthy bourgeoisie who does not work right now, you know, because I'm attempting to make it as a fiber artist. Who knows how long that's going to last, but I am attempting to make it go or whatever like that. But I have been known to frequent the anti-work subreddit, and it seems that like nobody wants to work for shit wages anymore, and now everybody's crying out for staff. But it's like, why does no one want to work for us anymore? Because they're tired of being fucked over. Yeah. I don't know how much you get paid for what you do. I hope what you do doesn't like, you know, burn you out or whatever the way it did to me. But for what it's worth, I definitely hope that you're getting paid significantly well for this kind of shit, because nobody can work 12 to 13 hours, like 12 to 13 days in a row and like, and not have their brain turn into Swiss cheese. That's fucking ridiculous. No downtime at all is a bad idea. Like, that's like crunch time or something for, oh, you know, like games companies and whatever. My God. Shit's not right. Workers should seize the means of production, eat the rich, etc., etc. What am I doing here? Yeah, here we go. All right. I'm trying to make sense of what I'm actually... See, I swear I know what I'm doing. It's just every once in a while I got to double check just to kind of for my own benefit. Like, do I actually know what I'm doing? Yeah. So during the week, right, I was looking at gigs and kind of just stuff I could do, because I was just like, you know, I could maybe just do something about the oldie cash flow. And I thought, you know, maybe I should get a part-time job. Like, I'm not in any danger of running out of money anytime soon, because, you know, the developer wages and my savings are going to take me quite a long way. you know, when I was working for ridiculous developer money, I didn't have a whole lot of, you know, spending requirements, so I ended up saving quite a lot of that developer money. But anyway, I was looking at getting a job in, I shit you not, a rock shop, because they were looking for part-time staff, and I thought, well, I do have a degree in geology. Is this the time for me to actually use it? Who knows? But, you know, it's just, I could work retail again, you know? And in fact, I think I probably would prefer to work retail because at least I know how that's going to go. You know, it's like you work your hours, you sell shit to people, you make nicey nice, and you accept credit cards. It's about where it's at, you know? Probably even easier. Yeah, no, like shiny crystals. I work in a research lab and our project scientist has COVID, so we have more work than usual. So if either of us goes down, she will 110% come in with active COVID. Oh shit. That is fucking scummy because it puts you in an impossible situation. Oh no! I like your research lab should literally just shut down and not like if you guys like need a break, you literally take the day off, take several days off, and the place shuts down, and they just like you know pay your wages or something because fuck all of that like. Oh my God, that's such a shitty position to be in. Like that research scientist should not be coming in with active COVID, and no one should have an obligation that they can come in. Oh Christ! Yes, look, the rock shop is literally that. It was a rock shop. Like they were like, so it's a shop that's just kind of moved to a bigger premises, and it's essentially just like 5 minutes away from me. Yeah, no one should have to go work for COVID. It's bullshit. But this place, okay, it's like they supply shiny crystals to people who believe that shiny crystals are, you know, affect things like their chi or something or other, I don't know, like crystal healing energy or something like that. And then they also do things like supply to the more serious people like fossil collectors and lapidaries and the people who cut gems, etc., like that kind of stuff. Essentially, if it is a rock and it's not like too heavy to lift, then chances are these guys will supply it to you. You know, especially minerals and everything like that, and cool, interesting rock specimens, minerals, etc., etc. Now, I used to do that when I was a kid, right? I had an entire mineral collection, and like I was highly into it. You know, it's just I learned a little bit of this stuff, like about the whole like the powers, all this stuff for rocks. You know, like not even kidding. You see this little pendant that I wear? This is a 21st birthday present from my godmother, um, who I love and who was sadly gone, who I love beyond sense and reason, and it is my birthstone, which is aquamarine, and and I wear that every day and I never take it off. So like I know it's just a few things like that, you know, it's basic stuff, you know, but the crystal healing stuff is just like you can fake it, you can fake that stuff all day, every day. And if someone wants to talk to me about like, yes, I would like to buy these rocks because I think they have healing energies, I'd be just like, oh, just let me show you the shiniest rocks I can. Like, look how shiny they are. Let us talk. And of course, I can learn that stuff. You know, it's like astrology. It's fun. If you believe it, then you know more power to you. It keeps the money in circulation. You have to know what powers the rocks have in order to sell them. Oh, yeah, I can. Like I kind of love stuff like that. You know, it's absurd, but it's fun. You know, it's just like it's like collecting Pokemon cards. People take that just as seriously. I would suggest avoiding employment that provide. Oh God, what are you doing? That provides access to discounted yarn. Tell me about it. Like this, I'd be terrible. Like I'd spend all my money. I'd be desperate. She won't have to. Just very controlling. Refuse to cross train anyone. Allow her to cross train people. Their solutions. She just actively denies them. That person sounds toxic. You should quit. Not even kidding. You should fucking quit. It is the employees market right now. You should quit. I mean, I don't know if that's a possibility or whatever like that, but consider it. I'm just saying. Bad situation on top of a bad situation. Yeah, right. Make sure you put the rocks out in the light and the full moons. I think that's done before we get them. So you know, I don't think like they're already prepped and charged ahead of time. Don't worry about it. Not to say I wouldn't do that. I absolutely would. I'm game for almost anything that's legal, but like, just so we're clear. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Okay, hold on. All right. Okay. How am I feeling about this? You guys think this is big enough? Yeah, you know what? Let's call this good. Let's call it good. Which means I'm going to slip stitch in here, I think. And we can start working on the corner to corner part. Two, okay, all right. Oh, excuse me. We're going to deal with what I can only describe as some rank horse shit here. And you're going to have to kind of trust me on this, that it's going to be okay, and I'll make it make sense, but not before I've really kind of buggered it up moderately. No, I've got too many twisted now. Fuck that. Okay, so the way this is going to work, right? And no, I don't even. No, I can't get the twist right. Okay, we're just going to do this chain. Fuck that. All right, yeah. Oh God. Sorry, a whole bunch of. If I quit our business on Ross, it's like, okay, Kiki, just, yeah, absolutely. This sounds like, oh God, that's terrible. Oh, everyone watch the language. There's a mod in the chat. Oh, don't be silly. It's only Quaid. He's not going to ban anybody. I don't know if the mod can mother presenter. Hey, Dead Crow, you're wasted. I just got home from the bar. Oh my God, dude. I hope you're drinking something good at least. It'd be a shame to get wasted on something crappy. Just saying. Shannon Renner got to I don't know what I'm talking about. Look, it's fine. All right, so here's what we're doing, okay? What we're going to be doing in order to kind of work on the bag is that we're going to set up the basis of a corner to corner crochet, like a corner to corner crochet round, essentially by creating a fake edge that we can execute corner to corner crochet on. Now, I am well aware that most of this will make fuck all sense to anybody who doesn't know crochet. So let's just kind of watch what I'm doing and assume I know what I'm that I know it's going to turn out okay. You gotta give me some just give me some leeway here. You know, I definitely know this is going to work. But for anyone who just knows crochet and wants to have a go at this, what we're doing is we're doing a repeating pattern of. That's a bit too loose, I think. We're doing a repeating pattern of 3 chains, then double crochet through back post on the row below, then single crochet back post row below, and then slip stitch into the back post of the row below. Then 3 chains. I feel you're in the heat too. We were working in the very hottest parts of the lab. It's so sweaty. Oh my God, you guys, just air conditioning, guys. Anyway, the point is that we're making this kind of like zigzag kind of a surface. We're going to be working our corner to corner crochet on top of this eventually. I got to go all the way around first. And from there, we will be doing corner to corner crochet in the round. And I understand that this like makes the actual phrase itself makes no sense when you actually think about it, because corner to corner crochet is by definition worked in a square, and we are doing it in the round. Okay, just yes, it's a bag. This is the base of the bag, and now I'm building the sides of the bag using corner to corner crochet, which is just not really corner to corner because we're not working it as a square, we're working it as a tube. And we're not working it like it's normally worked flat. We're not working it flat, we're working it as a tube, and we are going to kind of like work it row by row, going like this, back, like that, back, and then alternating, like just it's look all I can tell you is that it definitely works because I've done it already. It just sounds like it makes zero fucking sense, and it's very anti-intuitive. It is definitely corner to corner crochet. It's just worked kind of weirdly, and this is kind of the start of it, you know, doing this kind of weird ass back, you know, through the back post, creating this kind of like zigzag edge essentially. All right. It apex to apex crochet. I mean, I don't know. Like maybe once I finish this round, I'll show you guys. Like it definitely works. It legitimately, it looks like corner to corner crochet, except it's not done flat. It's not done corner to corner. Like it seems very anti-intuitive, but it definitely does work. And again, because I am a massive fan of corner to corner crochet, I can whip this shit out. Like I do a lot of the corner to corner stuff because it is a pattern that you can use in a lot of different situations. Like it's got a lot of legs in it. A lot of things you can do with it, you know, and I can just knock it out really quickly. And in fairness, being able to do like produce stuff very quickly is really important if if you're intending to be a fiber artist anyway. Which is neither here nor there. Look, I've got other stuff I'm going to talk to you about, right? Because like I said, it has been fucking week with a capital W, all right? Like I wasn't even dealing with COVID and it was like capital W, I'm telling you what. Like it's been a hell of a thing, all right? Now, most important thing, all right? I sold the big swung glass vase, right? Big 25-inch swung glass vase, okay? Okay, the flea market. Look, I'll get to the flea market. Okay, there's other stuff we got to talk about first. Okay, so the big swung glass vase, all right? The enormous 25-inch Ellie Smith cobalt glass swung glass vase, all right? I put one picture of it on Instagram, said, hey, I'm bringing this to the flea market, like, you know, for $200 it should be yours. And I immediately got like messaged by a bunch of people going like, please sell it to us, we'll pay anything, just ship it to the States. And like, bearing in mind, this vase, I was not prepared to ship this shit because it was too big, okay? Anyway, final tally, all right? It was $200 for the vase and $178 for shipping that asshole, okay? So it went to a collector in Florida, all right? And the guy was just like, send me the invoice, tell me, here's my address, just like, I will pay it and ship it, just ship it, please, I want it. He's like a serious collector of swung glass vases. I checked his Instagram and everything. Dude's like a vintage reseller, but he is very serious collector of these vases, and like half of his feed is nothing but these vases. It's hilarious. Anyway, so yeah, he bought it for $200, okay? Now, there was no way I was going to lose money on that thing. I mean, yes, I should have charged him double, but you know, like generally what happens, what I'd like to do is like, I want money now, not money tomorrow. Okay. And I want to be fair and stick to my word. If I say a price, then regardless, I'll give someone that price. Right. And I said $200 Canadian, like if in person, I would have sold her for that at the flea market. And the guy was like, I'll buy that from you immediately, and I'll pay you anything for shipping. So I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's make a deal then. So I used Square to send him the invoice, and he paid it literally immediately as soon as he got it. And thusly, I sent it out, and I packed the living shit out of that thing. Like I put so much bubble wrap around that thing. Like a neighbor of mine gave me like a ton, like bags and bags of bubble wrap. I used all of it, literally all of it, packing that fucking vase in, because I was like, this thing is getting to Florida in one piece. I do not care what happens, because I was terrified it would get smashed. It's a beautiful, rare swung glass vase, okay, from the early 20th century. Anyway, now the good thing is that it did get there, okay. Chit Chats are the drop shippers that I use, and they go through USPS. And they essentially just take things straight across the border, right? They did a phenomenal job. They got it, they handed it off to USPS. USPS got it to Florida within 2 days. Great job, them. All right? Great job. And I was super fucking happy, because I was just like, L to the motherfucking yeah. That is nice money for me, okay? Because first of all, the shipping is paid for. Second of all, at $200, I'm only paying for the square. I was only paying for the square fees, which is about $11.90. Okay, I bought the vase for, I shit you not, $13 in Value Village. Hang on, that was the one in New West. Okay, if anybody's curious, like, there's no fucking way I was going to lose money on this vase. I just knew it. Like, there's just such an awesome vase. All right, I was absolutely going to make money on that. Okay, I saw it. I knew exactly what it was. I'm like, I don't care if it's big. I'm taking a chance on it, and I fucking bought it right out. because, yeah, big swung glass vase like that, yeah. Anyway, now begins the Square saga, right? Because the day after I shipped out the vase, all right, Square emailed my account and they said, this is an important notice to say that we are deactivating your account and we will not be providing you payment processing services. And I was like, no, it's not that Valley Village. I'll tell you about that one as well. So yeah, like that the Square essentially has deactivated my account and they will not provide me with they won't provide me with payment processing services. They are now holding my money until October. And at that point they will send, but they hold it for 90 days pending chargebacks or whatever, and they will then like basically send the money to my bank account and then they will shut down my account for good. I've contacted them 3 times. The only thing that they will refer to me to is the part of their terms of service saying that they can shut down accounts for any reason or no reason at all. And they will not give me any explanation as to why. To date, that is the only sale I made through Square. All right. The invoice had my real name, my real address, and my real phone number on it. Okay. And that's really it. I'm sending back the reader. I bought a Square reader specifically to take in-person payments. I'm sending it back to them and getting a refund for the order onto my own credit card, all right? And the why is nothing. I cannot get an answer out of them as to why. There is no why, because they can. I have no idea. They will not give me any kind of explanation as to why they've just randomly decided that they will not provide me with payment processing services. I had literally have no idea what's going on with them. They won't tell me, so fuck them, basically. Like, what do you do? I mean, seriously, what do you do? There's nothing to be said. They have declined to do business with me after I made one single sale and sent one invoice through their system, which the customer paid immediately. The customer, you know, I thought about that and I actually reached out and asked the guy, because the money cleared. It's not like they're asking for a chargeback or something like that. The guy was just like, I got in touch with him and said, hey, Square's shutting down my account. And he was like, oh my God, you too. Yeah, so it turns out that they're also shutting down his account and they're holding something like $2,000 of his money. And this was after they asked him for all kind of verification, which he provided. And now they're just like, well, fuck you, we don't want your business either, I guess. And the guy's just been essentially just, yeah, it happened. Yeah, like Quaid this is what Quaid says, you know, like we looked up on Reddit, it happens all the time, but we have no idea why. It happened to this guy. Like, he had a Square account as well, you know? You think that he'd be known to them or something? No. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it at this rate. I gotta go and like just go into what do I need to do to verify with PayPal, because PayPal are prone to do this shit too. Like, what do you do? I don't know. It's like I need someone to do payment processing, like for in-person in craft markets. I had all of these plans to start booking in to do craft markets, and guys, I can't do them anymore because I have no ability to take credit cards. I was relying on the Square reader. Like I have to have that, or else I can't go to craft markets. They won't let me go to them or sign up because I have no ability to take credit cards. I'm fucked just on the basis of that, you know? It's insane. Like, like PayPal will work for online stuff, but that doesn't help me to take credit cards in person, which is why I signed up with Square to begin with. So, yeah, now I have no idea what to do. I'm looking around to my options, so... Yeah, it does happen. This thing, it happens on PayPal too. I have no fucking idea, lads. It's just, it makes no sense. You're absolutely at the mercy, apparently, of these big payment processors, and they will not give you any kind of information about it. And I don't know. I've emailed Stripe and I asked them, you know, I said, here's the situation with, I reached out to their sales team basically and I said, here's the situation with Square right now. Will you guys provide me with payment processing services in person, or you know, should I be wary of the same fucking thing happening because I don't even know what's going on at this rate? They won't tell me. Yeah, return to the barter system. Fuck this. I don't even. But like, yeah, so that is the Square saga, okay? And long story short, just don't use Square for fucking anything. Apparently this happens all the time. And, you know, PayPal is worse, I guess, but like, How many chickens for the last one? I don't actually have a glass swan vase right now. I have a glass swan, but it's a trinket dish, not a vase. So just saying, if you really want a glass swan, yeah, I can acquire one. And I have two ceramic swans who are very nice, vintage, the vintage mid-century. They're meant to be a pair essentially, and they go on to like what do you call it? They would go on to a mantelpiece or something like that, or like, you know, opposite each other or something. But who am I kidding? I'll take two chickens. Two chickens. We can negotiate. Get in touch with me there. Sorry. Yeah. So that's the square sack. Okay. So the flea market. All right. The flea market, all right. Oh, this was fun. So the Vancouver flea market, all right. I have a great amount of affection for it because it's just such a big fucking rummage sale. It's insane. It's just ridiculous, you know. And I was wandering around there, like I went there, like in person, you know, with my friend, and the two of us just kind of went around the place and kind of scoped it out. And I thought, you know, look, yeah, we can let's rent a table, see what we can make of it. Long story short, I did rent a table, but like we just did not get enough traffic, and we definitely didn't get enough sales. All I managed to do was just I did very basically like, oh God, I managed to make my costs, okay? So I paid for the table, which is $32, and I paid for my parking for the day, which was $7. That's about, like, I made enough money to cover that, essentially. And my gas, you know, that's about it. Like, it just was really not worth it. And the only reason I even did that is because I managed to sell a whole bunch of my silver jewelry, like, in bulk, effectively, which was definitely worth it, you know, but it was still just a really kind of shitty situation because it's like I have all of this stuff and like I was there with the intention of getting rid of a lot of my bigger things and I got no traction at all, you know. It was really fucking annoying because there are certainly vintage resellers, but like we were placed nowhere near them. And like I get the feeling that a lot of these guys have an established clientele already, but like we were invisible because we were in the wrong location. It's just very fucking annoying. Okay, hold on. One red paper clip. Oh God, no, that was done by a pretentious white guy. My profession is helping business find technology students. So if I can make a recommendation, look at Moneris' option called paid. Okay. Unlike Square, they have a monthly fee, but they also take Interact and their transaction fee is lower. Ooh, okay. I'll have to take a look, Shannon, because the thing is that the monthly fees are the thing that kicks my ass because I make a very not great kind of amount of, like the monthly fees is the reason that I don't have a business bank account. I have a personal bank account with Tangerine that has like no fees. You know, it's just like your basic checking account. It's because I can't afford the banking fees. So I don't know. I'll look it up, you know. Same idea of a terminal you connect to your smartphone. Yeah, that's the thing, right? I'd have to be doing a lot more business than what I'm doing right now. Like I can afford the fees on Etsy for listing stuff, but it's mostly just because like Etsy is fairly reasonable on the fees, and like your sales can pay for the fees when they actually land, which is kind of great for my purposes anyway. It gives me a bit of breathing room, more or less. So if I make sales, then I can cover my fees or whatever for the month, and it'll also cover things like my advertising costs or whatever. So you know, I don't know. The other problem I've got right now is that I don't have a business credit card because again, that would be like I need to maybe apply for one or something like that. I have to use my personal credit cards, which is not great. Look, just the banking stuff. If you're a small business, is such a pain in the bollocks. Just like don't even get me started. I'll probably end up asking Tangerine to give me a card and hoping they don't say no, which is going to suck. But that's where we're at, I tell you what. Oh, come on. Work with me. I'm nearly done with this. Okay, we're going to get on to the actual... We're going to get on to this. Where are we? No. Oh, fuck's sake. See, I've screwed myself now because this is too tight. But I've got to make a slip stitch in here somewhere, so here we go. All right. All right, here we go. Okay, so it's not. I know this doesn't. I know this kind of doesn't really. It doesn't really look like anything. You know, it's not. It's not going to look like anything for a bit, all right? Because we're going to start. We're going to start working on this. And you know the new patterns. No, basically I'm working on this. Right, I'm working on like putting together a pattern for a bag that can be worked in the round with corner to corner crochet. So what we've got effectively here is like here is the bag base, okay. And I've started the corner to corner crochet edge essentially. And now if you see this step pattern, we're going to start slotting in the corner to corner crochet into these edges essentially. We've got to think of it like a diamond block which slots into this little kind of like edge here, this little kind of square gap thing I've created. Like that's where we're going to be putting the corner to corner stuff. So because that's this way, you turn it around. And now we're working basically from the back. And I need to, let's see, I need to do, if I can get this right, ribbon yarn is usually pretty good, but it's not great. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to anchor here. And then turn it around. And now because we're working from the back, I'm going to start a corner to corner crochet line. And I'm going to go in under the chain I just created. And there we go. Now, this isn't one of those non-obvious things, but on the first corner to corner block of the round here, I will only be putting in 2 double crochets, not 3. You guys are going to have to trust me. There is method to my madness. I will be filling in the 3rd double crochet of that set when I actually get to the end of the round. Until now, all we're going to be doing is essentially normal double, like, you know, corner to corner crochet blocks, all right? Which is just 3 double crochets, slip stitch here, chain 3, and then another 3 double crochets to create the blocks. If you guys want me to actually slow down while I'm working, I will totally do that. I may need another can of bubbly soon. Quaid, if you're there, can you possibly see if there's any grapefruit bubbly in the fridge? Because I would really like another cold can because I'm probably going to be finishing this one in like no time at all. Anyway, flea market, okay? Flea market. Fun times indeed. We got all set up, right? And immediately we were befriended by the much older Chinese woman who ran the permanent booth next to our table. She was lovely, by the way. She bought a teapot or whatever off my friend who was there. And she was telling us all kinds of stuff about the about the market and everything, you know, which was very nice, you know. She ended up giving us some key rings, which, you know, some little, you know, handmade key rings or whatever, because my friend gave her a bag that she was going to sell, but she got sick of it. Basically, she decided she just wouldn't give it away. She'd give it to the thrift store. But she decided, look, you know, it's a nice Coach bag. She gave it to the older lady. Said, look, for yourself, go take it. She just thought it was the best thing ever. So she helped us to set up and helped us to tear down and everything like that. She was incredibly nice. And it was a nice experience because all the permanent sellers that were there were just like, oh, look, it's new people. We got to keep an eye on them. They're newbies. Like, you got to look after the newbies. It was just hilarious. So I ended up breaking one of my ceramic plates, which is okay. It was cracked anyway, you know, so I wasn't going to get much for it. So I'm like, oh, well, fuck it. Yeah, this is the thing. And I ended up grabbing like a bag and I started throwing the bits into it, intending to throw it out, all right? And this is when we were leaving. And straight away, all right, there's 2 old men or whatever who were manning the nearest booths were just like, no, young lady, you will cut yourself on that. Don't be silly, we'll call someone or whatever. And I'm like, oh God, guys. I didn't want to say to them, it's just like, oh, fellas, stall the ball here a second now. I'm 41, I'm hardly young, okay? And I just like, yeah, don't worry, lads, I got this. It's like, oh, fuck's sake. I just thought it was it was rather silly, you know? It was a fun time. I don't want to consider it a waste of a day, you know? I thought it was an interesting thing to do, you know. We did get a few people who were kind of haggling us or lowballing, but we just did not get enough interest and we just didn't get enough traffic, you know. Like if we had if we were more well known, then that would have been a thing. But the fact that we weren't was a pain. It was absolutely crippling. You know, that was the worst. That was the worst thing. It's like we might have made sales if we just had like regular people there who know to come down that area, but most of them didn't. I took a walk around the vintage section and they absolutely had traffic there. You know, it just we didn't get the traffic down the place where we were. It's a lot of stuff in the flea market, and apparently not everybody goes all over the place looking for stuff. Ugh. Look at this, I'm out. Quaid, I don't know if you're there, but please bring me a bubbly. I need a bubbly. Just saying. Yeah, no, it was fun. You know, it was fun. I'm not sure if I'll do it again. I may do it again for sourcing because the prices there are very good, you know. I could probably, if I went in there with like a box or something like that, and I go in with like a strict budget and just kind of buy stuff, and you know, buy stuff that I know is pretty good or that I know is desirable. Like I saw a lot of stuff there that I thought was incredibly good, you know. Hand out flyers in the beauty section. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I don't think they appreciate that, you know. It's just that I'd be kind of like, I was just really kind of annoyed that they put us in the wrong place, you know. Like we would have done so much better if we'd been close to like the actual vintage stuff. And we just weren't. And it would just be like, yeah. Some good stories. Yeah, I know, right? Everyone's probably stuck in the lines of the beer festival. I know, right? Oh God, I saw that, and that was apparently like the line for the beer festival was like, how long? Oh dear God. I can't imagine a more sucky way to spend your day other than doing that. Like, holy shit. Like, fuck that. And, you know, apparently the Kitsilano Music Festival or whatever was going on as well. You know, I didn't pick the greatest day for it, which is a real shame. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Grapefruit. If anyone's wondering, don't worry. We recycle our cans. Ooh. Yeah, I need to get a command that's just like, summon Quaid, bring bubbly. Yep. Right. Let's see where we're at. Quick now. Yeah, it was great fun. I'm disappointed that I didn't make more sales, you know. And I shifted none of my bigger stuff, which is neither here nor there really. So I've also been looking around at various shops and everything around Vancouver to see where else I could actually sell like my stuff. And there's apparently a place called the Storehouse on Main, which does a lot of stuff. I've emailed them asking them what's up with that. I went into a place on Main called Refind, and they apparently buy outright. If if the guy is kind of interested in it, and I say he probably would be interested in some of my stuff anyway. I just need to essentially just go in and just like offer to sell to him. If I get 50% of retail, I'll be doing pretty well, I think. Hey, Nomad. That's Nitchery. Nitchery is Nomad, by the way, with a different username. Hi. How's it going? Did the purple thread work for your thingy? Well, Nomad is making a top right now. We're sewing a top, and she took a bunch of my purple thread because she didn't have the right color. Anyway, I hope it's going well for you. Yeah, so I went to Refind, and like I'm gonna have to just email the guy pictures and just say, hey, I've got this stuff. You know, you want this? See what he says. I don't know. I can only sew in a straight line. Yeah, I did. Can't help you there. I don't really do the sewing thing. But I also looked into another place called Attic Treasures, and they don't sell on commission. They don't sell on consignment right now, but they said get back to them in around Christmas. But they definitely do the kind of stuff that I like. So there's that. Yeah, here we go. I like that. So you can see that there's the base, okay, and that line that you see here, this nice line of stitches or whatever, that's essentially the mark of the base. So like as I start building this up, what's going to happen is that will become kind of the base, and it's going to look nice. You know, it'll look that'll be like the outside. This is the inside, and it's just going to come up kind of like that. All right. Anyway, so we're working on the inside. We're actually we're at this here, and now we're back at the start, and here is that that chunk of the corner to corner, which only has 2 double crochets. And now we're going to do the third by doing a chain 3 and anchoring it to the top of the chain 3 in the previous round. And it's because we've already got like a chain 3 there, all right? Looks awkward, you gotta trust me, it does work. And then we turn it around because now we need to work corner to corner backwards, like in the other direction. So 1, 2, 3, and then we start under the chain that we just added. And now we are working in the opposite direction as if we have turned the piece. And there you go. So I'm not sure if this probably doesn't really look like anything here, but like these are the squares that I just completed, and here's the one on top of them that I just turned in. Yeah, okay, this doesn't look like anything yet. Ha! Okay, so I've got to do a bunch more, and then eventually it will probably look like something, and the important thing is that I'm going to get a cute bag out of it at the end. And I'll just, use up whatever yarn I've got and then call it good. So my intention for this is probably to put like a nice handle or something on it. And I don't know, I'm gonna make it big enough so that at least it's usable as a handbag, which is always kind of like the end goal. Is like I like making shoulder bags more than anything else. I'm not so good at making crossbodies, and I think I just have to accept that they are not my jam. Like I did a version of this in kind of small scale, and kind of like not so much in the round, but I did no, I did another one in the round, but that was more square. And then this one is going to be more actually round, like, oval base or whatever. But when I did a version of this, and I did it, it wasn't in the round, but it was like done essentially flat, and I seamed it together. And I put a much longer handle on it than a flap basically for the lid, or, to go over the top of the opening or whatever. And I found that it didn't work, It was like the handle was not pleasing to me because it was a little bit too long to be a shoulder bag and a little bit too short to be a decent crossbody. So it'd probably work quite well for a kid as a crossbody, but not for an adult, And it's about kid size anyway. So I'm going to have to just put that down as like, I'm going to have to go and take a look at that and maybe, I don't know, maybe adapt the pattern to something else. I just know that it wasn't quite working when I finally finished it, And it was one of those cases where I have to finish what I start what I do and then I have to finish it. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's gotta go. It's gotta be completed. The only time I'll actually frog something is when I know for a fact it cannot, it just doesn't work and I know I'm not going to finish it. And at that point I'm just like, okay, fuck it. Now we're going to frog it and do something else with it. But I have to stick to my thing, only one active project at a time, because if I start doubling up, I will literally start to lose my mind. I'll just get squirrely and then I'll never finish anything. And the most important thing is that I have to finish stuff. You got to finish stuff. You got to do the thing and make the things, or else what are you going to do? You're just going to make nothing. Okay. Continue. All right, so I mean, my week has been, I want to say, eventful, but mostly because I sold a massive vase and then got absolutely shafted by Square or whatever like that. But it wasn't all bad, okay? Let's be clear, wasn't all bad, because Elon Musk's deal to buy Twitter was terminated, okay? And I think at the moment he's getting sued because of that. And anything bad happening to Elon Musk, you got to accept that it's not a bad day, Yeah, you're doing all right if something terrible happens to Elon Musk, because he is the literal worst. And bad things happening to him is, I think, a net positive for the world. Guy's practically Lex Luthor at this point in time, except not smart. Lex Luthor at least was smart. This guy is just, fucking hoarder of money or something. Yeah, it was, it's good. It's grand. Now, okay, so here's the thing. All right, here's the thing. We're at Vancouver right now. Okay, there's been some weird shit happening because we all knew he was going to bail. Oh, there was a bit of hit and miss there there's a bit of kind of touch and go there for a while. I had a feeling he was going to bail, but he's fucking Antichrist as far as I can tell. He's like Lex Luthor. Literally, literal supervillain at this rate. Like, it was always a question of, like, how much of a supervillain he was going to be. And let's be clear, he's not competent enough to be Lex Luthor. Luthor would have just figured shit out and bought Twitter using its own money or some crap. He's that kind of a person. Elon Musk is not smart enough for that crap. Anyway, right? There's some shenanigans been going down in Vancouver, ladies and gentlemen. There's, and non-binary folks, of course, I don't want to exclude you. There's been some shady shit going down because I keep getting reports of fires. Just stuff going on fire. Like the Valley Village was apparently just the start of it. Other shit's just gone on fire. I'm kind of wondering, is this like the spate of arson going around or something like that? Because I was reading the Vancouver subreddit earlier today, and there's like, oh hey, there's a fire in Gastown. And I was like, wow, that's kind of something, isn't it? And then later on, it was like, hey, there's an apartment fire in Powell Street. And I'm like, is this not the same fire? What is going on? No, so apparently, like, there's fires happening, and I don't think it can all be attributed to, like, what do they say? Once is an accident, twice is suspicious, three times is a pattern. Like, no. Once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, three times is a pattern. Yeah, there you go. That's how it goes. And I know that usually relates to serial killers, but look. Something fishy going on here, okay? I don't know what to think of that. I really don't. Like, yeah, it's a hell of a thing. Oh, so I did actually drive past the Valley Village, okay? And I had like structure fires, not even kidding, okay? Just, like, stuff going on fire. Just whole, like, buildings going up in smoke, not even, yeah. Anyway, so I ended up driving past, like, the burnt out shell of the Valley Village, okay? And I got to tell my friend, like, because I was going, I was like, when we were going back from the flea market, I was just like, I was just chatting and I was like, yeah, it's like the fire in Valley Village. And she was like, the what? And I got to tell her, it's like, oh my God, okay, story time. The Valley Village on Hastings? And she was like, yeah. It's like, so it's gone, okay? The whole block is gone. Like, it burned to the ground last week. It's gone. It's an ex-Valley Village. It is among the choirs immortal. It is singing with the angels. This is an ex-thrift store. And like, as she was just like, oh God, two of us losing our mind. She was losing her mind. She was like, oh my God. And I had to give her the whole story. But yeah, I went past that, right, when I was actually out with Wild Nomad, and we were driving back on last Wednesday, and we drove past the burnt out shell of the Valley Village. Oh man, it was a hell of a thing to see. There's nothing left. There's literally nothing left. There's some of the walls are like in the shell at the back is kind of standing. And the rest of it is just like, there's a bunch of twisted metal and there's piles of, bricks and shit, and it's all black and burned. There's nothing else there. It's all gone. It's nuts to just look at it. I'm literally just driving down the street and you look at that direction, you normally expect to see the Valley Village, okay? And the trees and everything outside and stuff, and just like, no, it's gone. Whole block! Just, no, looks like it's been razed. It's, yeah. And you could still smell it, right? Oh, like, we were smelling stuff, like something smelled bad, just as maybe I don't know if it's bad. I think it smelled a bit like dish soap, and I'm wondering, is that this part of the stuff that they had in the water to put it out or whatever? I don't know. It was freaky. But yeah, it was just like, it was a hell of a thing to see, I'm telling you what. Yeah. But apparently, like, this is now an ongoing, there's more fires showing up around Vancouver, guys. Like, what in the fuck is going on? It's like the heat's making people crazy. Like, that, or it's just like, I don't know, the heat's gotten too much and stuff is just going on fire, which also kind of begs the question. And I fucked it up. Oh, yeah. Go me. Because I forget, Start of the round. Should only be 2 double crochets, not 3. And what does Muggins do? Puts in 3. Because I clearly haven't had enough coffee today. And for the record, I drank enough coffee to float a boat this morning, because I do that every morning. No, clearly, not enough. Not enough. The old brain's not awake yet. It's this week, I swear to God. It's just been like, it's been a whole thing, you know? It's been absolutely been a whole thing. Now, let's back it up. 3, pull out 1, only 2. Otherwise, we'll have a wrong number when we get to the end of the round. Ah, and we get to redo that entire row. Yay! It would be a terrible thing if I didn't like to do crochet or if I was slow at it, because like I feel like that's the kind of thing where like if you were kind of just a beginner struggling your way through that and you saw that, you'd be just like, oh fuck this! I don't want to do this anymore. Why are you making me do this? But you know, at the point now where we're just like, oh hey, I get to do another row crochet. I'm like, okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. Now, I do actually have more about the saga of trying to do stuff with business accounts online when people all think apparently you're a fraud, or I don't know, or that you're not a good prospect or something like that. I tried to sign up for a Facebook account, okay? Now, I haven't had Facebook in a while. I deleted my account because, frankly, Facebook are the fucking worst and I didn't want to have an account anymore. Okay? God, my nose itchy. Now, this, however, presents a problem. I would like to be able to use Facebook Marketplace and also maintain a business page for my small business. Because it's, you know, it's like, it's, especially I would, like the other thing as well is that I kind of need to get access to some of these Facebook groups where they talk about vintage glass or where they look for IDs and stuff, especially early American pattern glass. Like this, a lot of those guys are super smart and like I can only do so much on my own. And I definitely want to connect with the collectors groups for a lot of this stuff, you know? Because I find a lot of strange stuff and I need to go and like say, hey guys, I've got these things, you want them or not, kind of thing. Anyway, so I was like, I'm going to sign up for a Facebook account. I'm going to use it just for my business. I'm just like not going to have a personal account at all because like, fuck Facebook, basically. I really just want it for Marketplace and for a few other kind of very business specific things. So I take my Outlook account and I go and sign up. And as soon as I got past the whole put in your name, your email address and blah, blah, blah. And I straight away get a thing saying, Facebook has suspended your account. You will not be able to use Facebook. And I was just like, at this point, I had not even seen the user interface. It was the screen immediately after I signed up with an Outlook account. Okay. And I was just like, what the fuck, guys? Is there something going on here I should know about? Like, what the fuck is going on here? I just like, what? Like, I know I did have a Facebook account. Are you just like, are you connecting to this and then just suspending me or some shit? Like, I'm the actual person. Anyway, I just don't fucking know, okay? I'm wondering what I triggered. So it said appeal this decision. So I clicked on that going like, well, okay, fuck it. I guess I'm going to have a go. Why not? What's the worst that's going to happen? And I was like, they said, you got to put in a phone number and send a picture of yourself to prove that you're a real person. And I'm like, well, okay. That's a bit strange, but all right. And so I basically put in my phone number and I took a picture of myself out on my balcony, kind of grungy, and just like, okay, I'm absolutely a real person. What do you think? And now I'm kind of wondering what they're going to come back with, because like I did have a Facebook account before and I ended up deleting it. I was just like, no, fuck it, I don't want to have a Facebook account anymore. And I didn't realize that rejoining Facebook was going to be such a big fucking issue. You know? Like, what are you going to do? It's got, like, it's so many fucking issues with this. Like, I left Facebook, like, a few years ago, fully intending to never return. And not planning on, you know, having a mental breakdown and getting out of the tech industry and then finding myself starting a small business and then suddenly having a need to be back on Facebook again to have a page for said business. So like, make of that what you will. It's like, all I'd need to happen now is that I'll go to Tangerine and say, hey, can I have a credit card? And they go like, fuck you guys. No, it's like, they'll just say, haha, no, we think you're a bad prospect, sorry. we think you're a fake person, that you're, and then they'll lock my account as well, even though I've been, I've had it there and I've been using it for like the last couple of months, I guess. I don't know what you're supposed to do with this kind of stuff. I'm like, well, yeah, getting a small business off the ground is apparently super fucking hard. Like, it's probably the reason that nobody does it, because it is just really fucking hard. And if you want to actually create accounts that are separate from your personal accounts to actually handle this shit, then, all these automated services are just going to be like, oh, here's someone with no credit history and we can't trust them, or some nonsense. I don't know. Judgy Facebook. I know, right? I don't even want to use Facebook. I don't like it at all. Definitely, like, I ended up not shutting down my account because their newsfeed was unusable. And the worst thing is that Instagram is going the same way, and they're doing the TikTok thing. By the way, I want to say, for what it's worth, all right? I don't know how the fuck people use TikTok. I cannot stand it, and I'm this close to shutting down my account because the feed is the most obnoxious horse shit I've ever encountered in my entire life. I literally just want to go there and I want to watch the one or two people that I like, and I do not want anything else in my feed. Literally fucking nothing else. Okay? Like, and it's impossible to actually look. It's like you can't scroll or anything. It's like you flick, like, it has no proper scroll. Okay? It literally is like you open it up and it shows you the first video, and there's no scroll, like, whatever. It's just like, it kind of does this horrible kind of jump to the next video when you try to scroll up, or try to scroll down or whatever. And there's another jump, and another jump to the next video. I'm like, why are you doing this? So fucking annoying. Like, and Instagram is doing the same thing. And I swear to God, if I cannot switch that shit off, I am just going to leave Instagram, because it's that or my blood pressure. No. No. Fuck that. This kind of thing that would literally drive me to drink. Again, it's made more difficult than it needs to be. Absolutely. Pain in the bollocks. Oh, God. See, a lot of small businesses going back to websites, blogs, and email newsletters because social media sites are host. I mean, yes, like, that's the worst thing about it. I even have like a blog on my craft site, and I'm just looking at it going like, well, what the fuck am I going to do with this? Because I don't know if I'm even going to get traction on it, and like, do I have the brain for that as well? I don't really know. But like, it gets like, you still, like, I can remember back in the days before social media or whatever like that, when trying to get traction was just a hard prospect anyway, and like, I don't know roughly how you're going to be able to, like, if you're a small business or whatever, how do you actually go ahead and develop this kind of stuff, if you don't have social media? Like, they're like the tools that we might have used, like, what, 10, 15 years ago to do this kind of thing. It's like they're still around, but like, are people actually using them? I don't know. Like, there's the, like, it seems like private communities are becoming more of a thing, like things like on Discord or whatever, or like private social networks are more of a thing. But it's like, if you're not, well, I mean, if you're not, you're going to be just cut off from these networks if you want to try and get into them. Like, you're not going to have that chance. And yeah, it just, no, I don't know. It's, the shit's hard out there, and the hustle is tricky. My Instagram lately has been suggesting I follow profiles I already follow. Like, it shows a little follow button. Oh, God. That sucks. Like, and I mean, why? I don't know why they do that. It's so fucking irritating. I have the people I want to follow. Show me more stuff, yes, but don't fucking change my feed on me. It's just, oh, painful. Instagram seems to work really well on my craft site, on my craft account for Rainfall Crafts. Which, hang on, we're gonna do this, whatever. How do I make the thing? No, do the. Does that work? There we go. Yeah. So that's my, there you go, that's my social stuff, like Instagram, craft stuff, and then my Etsy shop, and then TikTok, which I still don't fucking get, and it's irritating to use in so many ways. And I mean, I also have my YouTube account, which is like the one where I kind of got the most traction on for my vintage stuff. And I haven't been posting videos for a while, and I really got to get back on top of that. I'm bad at that, unfortunately. But like, if it was like, the other nice thing about selling the big large vase is that like the guy who bought it gave me a shout out for it, you know, and suddenly I got like 20 or 30 new followers on Instagram overnight. Straight away, people are just like, "Oh, you got this stuff. We want to follow you," kind of thing, you know. And you know, looking at my stuff and going, "Oh, that's really cute. That's really nice," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Oh, okay. So like, it's just a matter of like getting the right people on your account, I guess." Yeah, there you go. And he only saw that vase because I used a particular hashtag for that vase that he was watching, you know, because again, serious collector or whatever. And as soon as he saw the vase, he was like, "Yes, I want that," you know. And I came through and got a whole bunch of follows out of it, which is nice. But like now, if I can keep that momentum running, hopefully I'll get more people on Instagram or whatever. And I still got to go and, you know, figure out how to sell to them, I guess. I have no idea what they're really interested in yet. A lot of the time it's going to be swung glass, but well, we'll see. Don't know yet. Good thing is that after the flea market, we both, like me and my friend, we both basically did a big old clear out, and I took a whole bunch of the stuff that I had been intending to sell, and I just basically took it to Valley Village and donated it. And like, I'm just like, no, fuck this, let's just get it out the door. Like, I'm not going to sell it. It's not going to make me money. These are things I've had for a while that I've gotten really nothing out of them, and I no longer have space for them, and I just have to kind of like eat the loss and just, you know, let them go, kind of thing. And I do that every once in a while. It's not great. I mean, I'm not hugely happy about it, but like, it's necessary. Like, I don't like having what they call the dead pile, which is like stuff that's just building up, which is like not being sold or has not, like, nothing's happened to it, if you know what I mean. Or it's like it's been listed, but there's had no traction or whatever. And like, for a lot of stuff, that was what I had. It was just like, nope, fuck it. I've got no traction on it. It's been in storage for over a year or whatever like that. I'm not going to make a sale at this rate. I've got to just get it out the door. And in many cases, it's not even worth the effort for me to ship it. So yeah, call it good, let it go. I did do really well on some other stuff. Actually, I'm going to actually show you guys some stuff. Hang on. Because I want to talk about my vintage crap. All right. Here's a random thing that I picked up this week. This is a piece of crystal. If you can see the pattern on it. This is a wine glass. I got 2 of them. I bought them for $3. All right. It is. You see that it's in really nice condition. It's very clear. You know, it has some scratches, but it's nice. You know, it's in pretty good condition. You can see the base still really, really good. And the 2 of them were just like, they were interesting, but I knew when I picked them up, and I knew from the color of the glass that they were old. You know, it's like I didn't even need to take out the black light. I knew as soon as I picked them up they were old. And I thought for $3 I could not go wrong on them. Okay. I did obviously check them with the black light, and they had the correct flash. They have the green, it's called it's essentially a manganese flash. It's like you can so when I use the black light to discover this, it's basically to help me figure out what's the composition of the glass. And clear glass like this, if it has a slight lime, like if it essentially has a strong green or lime green flash, it means that was manganese that was used in order to clarify it. Later, 20th century used different like essentially different components or different elements in order to clear the glass, because glass is not normally this clear. It's lead crystal is the thing that everybody knows, but that has a different fluorescence under a black light. Anyway, because this has a green flash, very strong green flash under a black light, it means that it's early 20th century at the very least, and it's probably older. And the good news is that I went ahead and identified this, and it is officially the oldest thing I've ever found in a thrift store, because it has been dated to 1870, the pair of glasses that I got. It is, it's called the bullseye, the Texas bullseye pattern. Oop, don't drop it. Because it's got these little notches here on the top and bottom, you know, right there. So yeah, I know, like 1870, okay. I told you, I'm good at, like, I am good at vintage glass, and I'm especially good at early American pattern glass. I know my stuff with this. spent a lot of time looking at this stuff, and I knew that the motif as well was the thing that made me pick it up. This round motif is typical of the APG. But yeah, so this turned out to be incredibly good buy for $3, and it's it's a, because it's Bryson something. I can't remember the name of the company that does it, but yes, it's one of the really old glass companies out of Pittsburgh, if I remember correctly, and it's very nice, and I got 2 of them. Now, the thing is that glass this old is not always very expensive, and I will, for $3, I'll probably sell the pair of them for 40, $30 or $40 with shipping. Yeah, it's not, they're antique, but they're not, you know, they're not phenomenal. They're just very, very nice, very old glasses that have somehow survived over 100 years with no issues, you know. There you go, 150-year-old glass. I love it. And it's possible I've got older stuff. It's just that like here's one that's like, this one's a fucking mystery is what this is. Like, look at this. This is, if you can see the gold flash on it, the gold kind of sheen on that. All right. Now this is a vase as far as I know, because it doesn't seem like it's not quite the right shape for a cup, or maybe a champagne flute. I'm not entirely sure, but it's got the weight or a sense that I think it may be a vase, and it has the right motifs to be early American pattern glass. But to date I've never been able to identify it. All right, this one is an entire mystery. I think it's beautiful. It is like, it's an incredible piece. The glass is incredibly heavy and incredibly kind of solid, and the wear on it is pretty okay, you know. It's clearly a vintage piece. Cannot identify it at all. It's just like, it's one of those fucking mystery ones, and I'm keeping it until I identify it because it's just so nice, you know. It looks like it should be on an Instagram influencer's rose gold curio shelf. I know, right? That's kind of what it is. It's like the actual colour of the glass is actually, it's very much like a particular pattern by Jeanette in the early 20th century called Flora Gold. But they didn't do Flora Gold with these motifs, and definitely not in this shape. So although the colour is very much like Jeanette, the shape and the motifs are not. It's like, yeah. I love old glass, and I love finding out stuff about old glass, but it just, some things are just fucking hard, I'll tell you what. That is your lesson on old glass for for today. Like, sometimes it's easy to identify, or you can just like, and then sometimes it's just like, well, what the fuck have we got here, kind of thing. You just don't know what you've got at all. And yeah. And I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoy that aspect of collecting and selling. I love going into a thrift store and picking up some stuff and just like, well, I'm pretty sure this is old, and now it's going to be on me to figure out if it is or not, you know. And it's really like, every time I walk into a value village, I am pitting my visual memory against their ability to do research, you know. Like, I spent all of this time like looking at pictures of old glass and researching different EAPG patterns and learning as much as I can about early American pattern glass and vintage glassware and stuff from the Depression era and a bunch more stuff besides. And I've got books and all this kind of thing. And then I have to walk into a Valley Village, carry all of that stuff in my head, and then I have to beat them. Because if they don't know what they got and I do, then I make money. But if they know what they've got, then I don't. So, yeah. It ends up being like a bit of it's like part of a game, you know. It's like almost, I want to say, like the most fun game you can play if you walk into a thrift store, knowing what's the good stuff and what isn't, and you know, and they don't basically, or they get confused about it. I've seen a lot of stuff in thrift stores where I'm just like, well, you're taking the piss here a bit, like, because they get the wrong idea about what it is, and like, not a word of a lie, I walked into an antique store, okay. And I was looking at some of their glass because I always look at the glass, and they had a piece that was labeled as Italian Murano, and there was a tag on it essentially with the usual kind of thing in Italian, which was made in the style of Murano glass of Italy, and then said Hencho en Venezuela, and I know just enough Spanish to know that that means it's made in Venezuela, and I was like, well, okay. They're charging quite a lot of money for something that's definitely not Merano because it's got the label that says it's alright. And sometimes, okay, it's just that easy to know what you've got. But yeah, people can get it wrong. What can you do, really? But I'm not going to hold it against that particular antique store. It was just like the glass that they had was absolutely phenomenal. I was just like, I could have spent an entire day in there doing nothing but going gaga over the glass. Like, I honestly could. It was just so beautiful. I have a few places that I like to go to where I'm like, I don't even go in there to buy. I go in there because, like, because I want to look at incredibly pretty things. And, you know, not for nothing, I'm kind of a collector myself. You know, I don't collect that stuff specifically, but I appreciate it definitely. I collect Robert Held art glass and some Murano pieces, and I did exceptionally well on the Robert Held art glass, I have to say. I found a very large vase by him that I just absolutely took my breath away when I spotted it. And it was like, for $15, I could not buy that shit fast enough. And boy, I bought that shit fast. And I've fucking done it again. I just... See, here's the thing. I just get to talking, okay? I get to talking, and the hands just kind of start doing their own thing, you know? And I forget where I am, and I'm just like, oh, yeah. Let's just according to crochet. It needs 3 double crochets. Let's do the 3 double crochets, and just completely forget that no, stare of the row needs to be 2, which is obviously a sign that I have not done this pattern often enough for me to kind of have that imprinted on my brain. Much apologies to everyone. Come on. This is how we're rolling. Badly, apparently. Let's try this again. Oh, okay. All right, come on. Let's try to be competent. Excuse me. Try to be competent. Oh, all right. And we're back. Let's continue. Oh, oh yeah, go on. Good night, Nomad. Talk to you during the week. It's grand. Nomad, you work too hard. Just saying. She absolutely does, by the way. It's ridiculous. Her company runs her absolutely ragged. And I'm not going to do the thing. 1, 2. Yeah, okay. Not going to do the thing. So, Nomad's company just like she talks about her job quite a bit, you know, and she's a project manager for an engineering firm, and as far as I can tell, her entire job consists of sending emails and telling engineers, telling engineers what to do, or chasing down people and asking have they done the thing they were supposed to do yet, and preparing reports. But mostly there's, you know, emails and meetings and making sure that people actually get things done. And I understand that this is a very important and very phenomenal job. She, you know, she, by the way, loves her work, you know. But I could never do it in a million years. I absolutely could not. It like the entire idea of having to do that job to try and chase down people and it's like, say, have you done the thing yet? It sounds like literal torture to me. And different strokes for different folks, you know. I'm so glad I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not in the corporate world. It seems like I was never very suited for it anyway. Oh. But more power to Nomad. I hope she gets a raise because goddamn does she ever deserve it considering the amount of work they give to her. And apparently trying to get engineers all moving in the same direction is like herding cats. Not what I would have thought, but there you go. Where am I at? Yeah, okay, here we go. Oh, you know, not gonna lie, I'm still thinking about that Cascade Magnum yarn that I left in the Valley Village that burned down. And it was $10 a piece and I decided against it and now it's gone. You know, it's just, it's kind of sad when you think about it. Like, you're gonna get that yarn again, you know? Vintage stuff, discontinued, whatever you want to call it. On the upside, I got a really cool mug with a picture of a dog on it. And that got saved because I bought it for like $2. I decided that I wanted a stupid coffee mug with it that's like 6 inches tall and has a dog on it and has little feetsies on it. Little paw feets. And I thought, that is the perfect kind of mug for me to drink coffee out of in the morning. So I am going to do just that. Oh, fuck's sake. I'm doing a thing right now where basically I don't eat during the day. I was just drinking an entire pot of coffee in the morning and then coast until dinner. And it has been working out for me somehow. Yeah, let's get this done fast. We have places to be, things to do. I actually want to do this. I kind of want to do a thing where like I'll do a thing where I'll just test like how fast can I actually do crochet, right? And then time myself like how many. That's three. Time myself like how many stitches per minute or some crap. I don't know. I'm not hugely fast. Like let's be clear. There are easily people faster than me. I know of at least one of them that will go quite a bit faster than me. But it's more like, can I be consistently quick at doing corner to corner crochet? I kind of can. But like it gets a little bit more tricky if I'm actually talking or whatever, obviously. And then I kind of lose the run of myself and just like, oh wait, I'm supposed to be doing like this other fucking thing. And then just kind of like, oh yeah, sorry about that. Ah. Now, I've been around and seeing more people actually doing crochet stuff and like wearing crochet items and whatever like that. And I'm kind of wondering if it's crochet finally making its way to the real world to, to do things like, crochet lessons and all this kind of crap and a few other like, just like crochet as opposed to knitting around the place. And like, and I keep saying things like every time I walk into a yarn store and say, oh, hey, you doing like, do you do kind of crochet type stuff or whatever like that? Or do you like, does anyone teaching crochet or whatever? It's like, oh yeah, our knitting, like we have our knitting instructors, they're kind of doing crochet too. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, guys. Like, you're not just going to get someone who actually just does it full time kind of thing? No? You expect to do knitting? Yeah. Like, I can't hold it against them. It's just like I don't do enough marketing in that respect. I need to kind of get the word out a little bit more about, oh, hey, look, I'm a teacher. I can do this. I can teach you. I don't know how good a teacher I am yet, and I think I need more experience doing it. But doing this thing on Mondays, I got to do it tomorrow actually, where the local community hall house, whatever you want to call it, is doing this kind of knitting, whatchamacallit, knitting circle, knitting blargy meeting for an hour or something in the afternoon. And I missed last week because I was doing a whole bunch of work getting things sorted out from the business. And I got to go tomorrow because I said I was going to be there every week, and lo and behold, it didn't show up. But it's been really nice just kind of hanging out and talking to people and like getting a chance to teach people, which is fun. And getting more experience teaching people, which is kind of the most important thing. And it's been a funny revelation, by the way. It's that I have all the styles of different crochet that I can do, some of which, by the way, are incredibly weird. And it turns out that for a lot of people, no, a right-handed knife grip is in fact just the easiest one to learn. And in fact, I'm going to show you guys something strange just for fun. Because I learned a new style of crochet during the week. And it's fucking weird, and I think you're going to appreciate it. Okay? It is... It is right-handed crochet done with the left hand by taking the piece, inverting it and rotating it 180 degrees, and then crocheting upside down. And it looks a little something like this. Take this, turn it around, and same thing, you're holding tension with your hand here, okay? Here's the hook, and instead of the hook being towards you, the hook is away from you. And then here's we do the chains. And then we need to do our doubles, which is in, catch, pull through. And you can see I haven't practiced this a whole lot, so hopefully you can make sense of it. No, I haven't lost it. Let's try that again. Under, in, grab, pull through, under there, like that, under there, pull like that, and you're pulling to the back. Under that, all through. And that is basically it. You're doing double crochets from the back using your left hand. And I'm just even going to tell you right I saw this and it took me a while just to kind of parse what it actually was, okay, like what was happening. And then I asked the person who was demonstrating it actually what it was, and they were just like, well, I learned from my mother, who was right-handed, but they're left-handed, and thus they were just like, well, I'll just do what she's doing. And they ended up doing it like this, okay? They literally learned how to crochet by mirroring what their mother was, and their mother was sitting across from them, right? She was literally sitting like across. So the left-handed person was just looking and saw this, and just replicated what they saw, which was right-handed crochet, but rotated 80 degrees, 180 degrees and done upside down. And it's insane when you think about it. But it absolutely works, And like doing it is just very strange, especially if you're used to doing it like crochet right-handed. But I got the knack of it. Like it took a while to kind of wrap my brain around, but once I did, it's like, okay, yeah, this definitely works, So if you want to do this, it's possible. Maybe not sensible, but it's certainly possible. And like that's kind of exciting, especially if you do a lot of this kind of stuff anyway. Just like, well, hey, check that shit out. That's pretty cool. Like it's like another way of doing crochet, something unexpected, something just interesting. All right, let's see where we're at here with this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've got the right number there. 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, we're starting right. We're grand. We're grand. At this point, I think I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to put an extra one there. I'm not going to cock it up this time. And we're working from the outside now. Now, you can actually see, all right, if I do a stitch or two here. Now you can actually see here is like, here's the base, this round base here, because it's been kind of marked out by the ridge that I put in. And the bag itself, if we turn it over, like this is obviously the outside. If you just pull that out a bit. So what you can see here is that the side is starting to form up. Like this, again, it still probably needs to be blocked a little bit, or just let it kind of stretch out a bit. You never know how this is actually going to go out. But you can see that the puffiness of the corner crochet is starting to extend it a little bit, like extend from the base anyway. And it's starting to kind of form the actual bag. And like once I actually, I'll stretch it out, I'll kind of make it a little bit more neat, I think, and see how we get on with it. So that's kind of the shape of it there. And it's going to be growing up like this. Corner to corner crochet. And again, there's like the texture of it is going to be kind of nice. The texture of it is going to be kind of thick. And then once, it's like, obviously I'm going to be building it and it's going to have this ridge, all right? And then once I get up to like the height of a bag, let's say about like here, I kind of want it to be a fairly sizable kind of handbag. Once I get up to a height that I'm comfortable with, or what I particularly like, at that point I will I'll probably not do any more shaping, I don't think. It depends on kind of how much yarn I'm gonna have. This is like, there's a lot of the yarn being used here on just this because of the tightness of the actual thing. But like, it'll go pretty quick from now, and most of it's going to be in the base. But I'll work it up. I have another yarn that I may need to use in order to do the actual handle. But if I do run a yarn before I reach the top, I'm going to just do a final finishing row to kind of essentially do the opposite of the initial row that I did down here, and it'll just fill in the ridge and make it a flat line as opposed to being this kind of doubly pointedness or whatever you want to call it. And then I'll just add like some nice handles or something to it. Maybe using another piece of yarn, I don't know. But I can definitely get some D-rings and put it in and kind of make it look nice. And then we'll see. It'll be my bag. All right. But until we get to that, we have a whole bunch of corner to corner crochet to do. And I'm probably going to knock that out this week. The thing about the pooling is that I think the pooling on the base is nice. I kind of get the feeling that the pooling here is going to be indifferent, or it's going to just be like, it's like not going to pool well, you know? I don't know. Like, some stuff lends itself really well to corner crochet, and some stuff just does not. And I think this might be the yarn that does not. So you're just going to get like this kind of speckled, kind of textured kind of look to it. And because C2C crochet is fairly textured anyway, it's possible that this is just not the right yarn for the pattern and I'll have to redo it in another colour. But that's neither here nor there. Finish this one first and then at least have a proof of concept on whether this is actually going to be a good design or not. And then I can figure out the rest of it later. It is what it is. But in the meantime, corner crochet. And I haven't cut the yarn or anything yet, so like if it turns out that this isn't a complete bust, I will just be able to frog the whole thing and start over with something else, you know. And although I would rather finish it, I'm not going to just kind of, you know, like hold myself to that. I don't think it's worthwhile. Like sometimes you just gotta pick a direction and go, because the yarn doesn't judge you. And this stuff is kind of like, it's lots of fun to work with. It really is. Now, fun fact, there was actually a thread up on Reddit today about like, well, what kind of crochet hooks do you use, you know? And everybody was kind of talking as like, oh, you know, I use my ergonomic hooks and I use these particular hooks by this particular company or whatever like that. And or, you know, I use the hooks with the soft handles and everything. And I found that, and a lot of people were saying they're like, oh, you know, I use using the metal hooks, but they kept giving my hands pain, you know? And I was like, what exactly are you doing that the metal hooks hurt your hands so much? You must have a death grip or something. Because like, I know some people just like, I wonder, do they just have bad ergonomic practices perhaps? And it kind of makes me very interested. It's like, I want to see what way they crochet or how they hold the hooks. I've seen so many people at this rate who hold particular hooks and hold them far too tightly and obviously develop pain as a result. But I mean, you can even see when I'm doing this, like, you can see that like I'm not holding this very tightly, but also that my hand's incredibly mobile, like especially for knife grip. Like it's just like I do a lot of kind of flicking with both hands, and I use, you know, I can move pretty quick. But like I've never had ergonomics issues from it. All the motion is all in my wrist. I don't really get much from my actual, like I don't stress my shoulder. I don't stress my elbow. Like it's all just kind of, it's an ergonomics thing, and I kind of try and keep the range of motion like constrained because I don't want to fuck up my hands. But I notice this more when I do knitting because I notice that I hold the needles too tight in knitting specifically. And obviously with knitting this is a big concern because it's not like you could stick a handle on knitting because obviously the needle is used to hold the stitches. You don't have the same options for this kind of stuff. And like, I don't know, something I keep thinking about. I find a little bit of strain here now because I've got my elbow like leaning on the table because I've got to lean forwards a little bit or work, it's kind of out of my comfort zone just to get this onto camera. But if I was just like sitting comfortably on the couch, I could crochet for hours and not even think about it, not even feel it. And I have to be able to because like it takes me a couple of hours to make a bag and I want to just sit down and make a bag or something. I actually did go into a thrift store and looked at the bags, and I ended up buying one for I don't know, $8, and then I cut it to pieces, stripped the hardware off it, and used it to make a bag. Or I basically put the hardware onto the bag, and that bag was just a disappointment because it's too wide and the cord. I mean, it was essentially an experiment in using nylon cord to actually make a bag, and it just did not work. Like it was like it just didn't come together for me at all. I felt like the stuff was a little bit tricky to use anyway, but I could not nail down what size hook to use. And although the bag came together okay, it just didn't really work as a bag. Like it wasn't stiff enough. And it was kind of making me thinking like, well, what exactly is it about? Like, what's different about this versus the bags I see on Instagram that it's just not stiff enough? Because like, I don't know. It's just one of those things that kind of like, it makes me frustrated. I'm just like, why don't my bags look like that? It's not like a skill thing. I'm well able to do it. It's just like, what else have they got going on that I don't see it, you know? And especially for stuff like this, like ribbon yarn or whatever, super forgiving. This stuff will absolutely hold its shape if you give it half the chance. Oh, and when I think about it, the yarn that I'm using is called Burnout Homemaker, I think. There you go. Burnout Homemaker. It is a maker home deck. Maker home deck. Okay. And it says this is the lilac fence variegation. And I should be using an 8mm hook with it. I am using a 3.75mm hook because I do what I fucking want. And this is, here's the thingy. Sorry, 72% cotton, 28% nylon. So it's tough stuff, you know, nice ribbon yarn. Like, yeah. But I mean, it's definitely going to be able to stand up on its own as a bag. It's not going to take a lot for it to sit and stand on its own. It's already kind of doing it now, even though this is just like a piece here. If I make it bigger, it's just going to come together. It'll be nice. It won't be like you will be able to squish it, but like it's going to have a shape. It will hold its shape. It's kind of important for bags. At least it like it, you know, if you give a bag a 3-dimensional shape, it should at least hold that in some way, and still kind of be like nice and light. The other thing is that I'm thinking about getting some feet for it. This is something I was actually looking at in I went into Fabricland trying to find bag hardware. Have you seen the prices of that shit, lady? Oh my god. Anyway, you can get the metal feet that you see underneath a handbag. You can actually stick it underneath. Like, you can essentially attach it to the bags that you make. And I would be definitely looking at doing something like that. And the other option is just get very thick leather and use that to make the base. And that would hopefully give it enough structure that I wouldn't need to worry about it holding its shape or whatever. But I still have a bunch of wooden bowls that I want to use as bag bases, and all I got to do is just kind of get the drill out, get some sandpaper out, clean them up, and then go nuts. See how they work. I think my mistake in the first one that I tried is actually I didn't drill the holes together close enough. So we shall have to see. I'm gonna do some experimentation, I think is what I'll be doing. Experimentation and try a few things, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, oh well. You know that particular idea was kind of stupid. I don't know, really. So much to do, and I can't do a whole lot of it because I can't even go to craft markets. Fuck Square. They're assholes. Just saying. What time is it? 10:37. Will I finish another few rounds? I might do. Or I might just go, actually get off early because it has been, like I said, it has been a week, people. So if I decide to leave early, I hope no one's going to give me grief out of it. It's just been that kind of like holy fucking shit. Still waiting to see if yeah, it is getting towards bedtime. Christ. That's where we're at right now. Let's see where I am. Ah, yeah, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right. Come on. Yeah, for yarn that's supposed to be used with an 8mm hook, the stuff is kind of coming together kind of nicely. It's very forgiving. All right. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna call it here. It's just I'm just tired at this rate, lads. I need to go and get some rest, and I have got so much shit to do tomorrow morning because I got an order to send out for Etsy, and I've got to go and dump Square's stupid reader package in the mail so that they'll finally give me some kind of fucking refund. And I just busy, you know, fucking busy. Because it's stupid o'clock here in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, how about that? All right, I'll catch you guys next week. All right. It's been like I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go rest. I'm gonna. It is just too fucking hot, and we'll see how we are next week. And maybe next week it won't be so utterly batshit insane or something like that. Oh yeah. All right. Have a good night, guys. Oh, Shannon Renner and Matthew, just it's gonna be hot this week. I hope you guys have like fans and stuff. So, yeah, take care of yourselves and stuff, guys. It's gonna be a scorcher, and yeah, I don't think it's gonna be heat dome, but damn, it might be close. So yeah, all right, take it easy. Good night, guys.